There's a lot going on in David Dobrik's world, and it's not all because of his pizza shop. He's got a lot of projects he's juggling, employees to manage, and callouts to handle. Let's talk a little bit about his pizza shop for a second, since it is a hot topic and there's a lot of people curious about it. Whether it's a good or bad curious, there's some questions people have about it, like how well is this thing actually gonna do? There was a massive line down Sunset the day of the launch, and slowly the line trickled down over the rest of that launch week. But it was back again over the weekend. It seems like right now people want to try it because they want to know if it's actually good, or they're trying to meet David in person. And I haven't heard anyone say that it's bad, but I do think if David wants to keep people coming back past just curiosity and a meet and greet, he should probably do like a pizza of the week or have people vote on what pizza should be in the store, because that would keep it interesting instead of just promoting the same couple of pizzas every single week. It's definitely going to get old. And the thing about his pizza shop is, in my opinion, the location is a little inconvenient. Unless you just had a night out and want something to eat, because realistically, there's hardly any parking on Sunset, and if so, it's valet down the street. It's hard to just pop in for lunch, and most of the people that have gone just Ubered there or have a very long walk. And that's not very realistic if this is supposed to be your next favorite pizza place to go to. And I know his intentions was to make this a late night spot, but I mean, is it really worth an Uber ride and then having to pay for the pizza on top of that? But everyone involved seems to think that this is the best location for them. And I mean, of course, Sunset is a very big name. It's a very big location. It's very popular. But I feel like mostly to tourists, and if he is trying to just draw in that tourist crowd, then all right. But I feel like you need a little bit more than that for a restaurant. Ilya was recently on Jason's podcast, and Ilya and David went in on this pizza shop together. They are both the ones that are really owning it and running it. And he went on with Natalie, and he was talking about the pizza place, and they talked about how they even got this location in the first place. And he said that it actually used to be a Starbucks, but it went out of business. And right after, David and Ilya signed that lease.
You've had that spot is unreal. It's right on Sunset. Guys, yeah. The Dobrik Pizza is right on Sunset Boulevard. I would say it is the epicenter of Los Angeles. It's next to Saddle Ranch. Yeah, Sunset is where people go to party. People got nice restaurants, nice hotels.
We were looking for a spot somewhere in Hollywood, West Hollywood, like a year and a half ago now. And we were driving to see another spot on Sunset, like a mile away. And on the way there to this other spot, Dave and I were talking about that Starbucks that's right next to Saddle, and how cool it would be for it to leave. And I was like, no way Starbucks is ever gonna leave, right? They've been there for 15 years. There's no way they're gonna go out of business. But as we're talking about it, how Starbucks would never leave, we look at the building and the Starbucks sign is gone, and we're like, holy And that night we went to, it's a Sunday night, I remember, we went to the landlord's building. We talked to them the next day, and we got into the lease agreements, and we signed the lease in a month.
Some people have made TikToks talking about how David plans to keep this open if Starbucks couldn't even. And some people mentioned that Starbucks closed a number of locations recently, not due to lack of business, but due to the surrounding area not being so great. But this wasn't one of the locations that shut down because the surrounding areas weren't so great or people kept harassing workers at this place. That wasn't the case, but I do think that if Starbucks couldn't maintain business on Sunset, it was probably because it was really inconvenient for people to park and hop in, grab their coffee and go because there's no parking. And I don't know how David plans to keep the business going if this is going to be the case for him. Because seriously, living in LA, one of the top questions I ask when I'm going out with people is what's the parking like? Because that's make or break sometimes. It does seem like David and his friends are more than confident in this location though.
And we were so lucky. I mean, when I say that's the best spot, like you said, I mean, it's the best spot.
It's
period.
Best possible.
Period. For anything.
There's all the Netflix billboards up and down. Everyone's on that street.
And they're so confident to the point that Ilya is literally talking about expanding the business already.
Well, what would you do next? You would try to franchise Dobriks? Is that the idea?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean,
did you put another one in LA or no?
But as of right now, I want to put one in every major city. So Miami, New York, Chicago, Houston, whatever.
Chicago for sure.
Yeah, I think Chicago's number 2, and then maybe New York and Miami. I want to do maybe like 10 at the same time, because obviously if we do it at the pace that we did it now, we're not gonna have 10 locations until like 2050.
Right.
So yeah, maybe another 10 to 20 corporate-owned stores, and by corporate-owned that means like we fully own it, right? Because a franchise is you only own part of it.
Right.
They're confident, that is for sure. So I guess we'll have to see how good this business really does after a little while. David doesn't seem to be putting all of his eggs in one basket though, as he's already got other business ventures in the works. This week he announced that he actually scored a partnership with Marvel, and they have collaborated on a product together. It's a candle to represent the Infinity Stones, and they say designed by David Dobrik on the back of them.
Recently I got to make something with Marvel, like a literal, okay, I'm gonna show you right now what I made. I wanted to make a gift for mom, dads, girlfriends, boyfriend, Marvel fans, but I didn't want the gift to be big and obnoxious like an 8-foot statue of Iron Man sitting in your living room. So we made this. So we all know about the Infinity Stones, but now we created the Infinity Scents, which are candles made for every single stone. So every stone has a different scent, and it's really sick. It says designed by David Dobrik here, and you open them up. Every candle is frosted to its color, and you can have it sitting, and they are so cool. Each candle is a different scent. This is lavender, and look at that. It's so dope. I am so obsessed with these.
And so for anybody who likes Marvel, the Avengers, it's actually a really good gift, but the design by David part is interesting. It's not even like he's just doing a little bit of an ad for them and he's just promoting their candles. Like, he literally worked with them and designed this. That's a really big partnership.
Guys, you guys have no idea how hard it was to keep these a secret. I am so excited to finally talk about these. This is the Time one. It smells like pine. All of them smell like the colors, if that makes sense. So like Power is the purple stone, and it smells like lavender. Then Soul is Santal. Then I have Vanilla over here for the Mind Stone. And then Honeysuckle is the Space Stone. Dude, I am so excited about these.
And David has been obsessed with Marvel forever, so this is actually a really fitting brand for him to work with and do a partnership with, but it's definitely interesting. Now, in terms of who gets these kinds of deals for him, Natalie certainly is taking credit for them. And she recently talked about her role in David's life on a recent podcast, saying people try and tell her all the time she owes her career to David when that's just not the case in her mind.
One of the comments that I get frequently is that, like, I've had my career handed to me, right? Like, I was presented this opportunity and I'm just lucky that I have this amazing best friend. And he's great, but there's a lot of things that he wouldn't have been able to accomplish if it wasn't me behind the scenes pushing him, you know, to do things or to get things done. And I think that, again, like, a lot of people see one side of me because they get that content, right? They get that 5 minutes where I was laughing or joking around with people or whatever in a video, and they think that that's the entirety 360-degree view of who I am. And I always try to be better about showing the other things that I do, but also just like sitting on my computer and answering phone calls is not interesting, you know? So you're not going to get that side of me.
Honestly, I think this is a case of both of them wouldn't be where they are without each other. She might have all the skills to email and get good deals and negotiate, but I doubt she could get them for just anyone. She had David, who already had a platform, and that's a lot easier to pitch to brands than just someone without a following or a way less following than him. So yeah, maybe David wouldn't do as much without Natalie, but she certainly wouldn't be where she is, getting the opportunities and deals if he wasn't David Dobrik. I mean, it is really because of his videos that she also ended up getting a following of her own and being an influencer on her own. And that just wouldn't happen with any client. So I think that they certainly benefited off of each other in the end, because there's so many publicists or people that work with influencers that they don't have a following of their own. They just work with influencers. And I just think that because David is David and he made the videos that he did, he helped her be where she was. And I certainly think that David benefited from having a best friend by his side, helping him get deals and make those deals for him, because obviously a best friend is going to look out for you way better than just some stranger that you hire to do your publicity and stuff. Now, in terms of David getting called out, it's over a statue that he had made for his house recently. He recently posted a photo of this sculpture that he had delivered to his home that an artist made for him, and he said that it's modeled after his own eye. And it's incredibly cool, but David and the whole Jeff accident has people thinking that this was a strange thing for David to get commissioned for his home, which at first, when I saw this, I was like, oh, cool, okay, like I didn't think anything of it. And then people on Twitter started talking about Jeff, and I was like, wait a minute, that's actually really weird that he would want an eye in his home. Because I feel like it would almost be like a reminder of the past a little bit. Every time I would walk into my house, if I was David and seeing an eye, I would just be like, dang, I am in that lawsuit right now with Jeff over his eye. That's just what would hit me when I would see this if I was him. And a lot of other people were feeling the same way. They were like, interesting piece of art, David. Anyway, that's what's going on in the David bubble as of right now. I definitely want to know what you guys think about everything we talked about, from his pizza shop. How do you guys think it will do compared to that Starbucks that was there before? And also, what do you guys think about Natalie's thoughts on helping David's career? And do you think that she would be where she is without him? Because she clearly thinks that David being David had nothing to do with it. And also, what do you guys think about this interesting art piece that David has in his home now? Let me know in the comments below. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.